everybody, and welcome to St. Johns County Show that's on in the morning.
There is a show.
It's going to be a great show today.
Oh, my God.
We've got a lot to talk about with Sheriff Hardwick in studio with us
That's
today.
on me. That's on me. That's my bad.
We're going to get into it soon. It's going to be a great show.
Yeah.
It's going to be a great show, man. We actually have a lot going on. Kids are going back to school.
Good.
So we want to give them some real, actual tips on what we can expect with school starting back up. There was actually I believe it was a years-long missing person case.
Two.
2022.
Yeah. That has been solved recently, I believe, during this week or maybe late last week.
Yeah, not solved, but identified. We got some work to do.
Yes.
Yeah. Remains were identified.
Yes. So we will talk about that. You guys got the Donut Dash 5K coming up.
Yes.
Heck yeah,
Everybody
tomorrow.
loves this one. Yeah.
That was fun.
And we'll get into some teen driving. That's the scariest part about school starting back up.
Yeah.
These teenagers getting back on the road, man. So we will get into all of that and more. Glad to have y'all here with us this morning. Glad you could make it. And we'll get everything started by telling you about our friends at Bozard Ford Lincoln. They've been doing this since 1949, and since day one, they have been more than just a dealership. They strive to be a family-owned beacon of trust right here in St. Augustine. They were founded on the principles of honesty, integrity, and community service. And that Bozard family tradition continues to thrive through generations. They've got that state-of-the-art service facility, lots of climate-controlled bays in there, 91 to be exact. A quick lane for no appointment needed maintenance, and you can enjoy the comforts of their customer lounge and the unique flavors of Ford's Garage while you're there.
Oh, very nice.
Sheriff Hardwick has his own burger out there.
Number one seller.
No, I mean, it's a number,
Okay.
it's a number 2 seller.
Yeah, number 2. Thank you. Silver
Come on,
medalist.
Sheriff, you got to
Yeah.
give us something. You got to give us
Seriously.
something, man.
Yeah.
They're the proud recipients of the Triple Crown Award and named Florida's Dealer of the Year by Dealer Rater. Their team dedicated to providing an enjoyable and efficient experience, which I love. Bozard Ford Lincoln offers the best in pricing, selection, and service. Visit them online at bozardford.com. I don't have it written down. I don't know why I said visit them online.
But you can, which is an
You
awesome
can.
idea.
You're allowed. It's permissible.
Okay.
Yeah.
It is permissible. I just hope I got the website right.
And you can get some previews of all their inventory.
Yes, you can.
Yeah. Looking forward to lunch today.
Oh, is
Yes.
that where you're going?
Yeah, we're going down there to Bozard Ford.
Look how
Ford's Garage for lunch.
I didn't,
Very
get, I didn't
nice.
get invited.
Yeah. No, you didn't.
No, you didn't.
I bet you guys buy my burger.
You buy the wrong burger.
That's right. Jiffy Burger all the way.
Yeah.
Your satisfaction is their mission, and they are driven to inspire. Also, big shout out to our friends at Fidus Roofing, Great Expectations Realty and Auction, Chiba Hut Toasted Sub, St. August Pizza, BHF Insurance, Alace Med Spa, Griffin Service, Chris Lucero Bail Bonds, and BNS Signs. Love BNS Signs. We'll talk about soon. But first, Troy, Davey, how you guys doing this morning?
Hey, happy Friday.
Hey, weekend, we're here.
Yeah, man.
Yes.
Very exciting.
Very exciting.
What you got for question of the day, Troy?
All right, question of the day, and we talked about it yesterday, so people should be prepared. Best cartoon dog.
Right. Yes.
Best cartoon dog. I studied all night.
Mm-hmm. You did?
Yeah.
Wow.
I gotta
for
go
this question.
Scooby-Dooby-Doo.
All right, taken for the crown. There it is.
Yeah.
Scooby-Doo. Not
Scooby,
Scrappy,
man.
Scooby, right?
It's Scooby.
That's the answer.
Was Scrappy like a little sister or something? Or a
Little
little
brother.
brother?
Yeah, little brother.
Scrappy was his nephew, and he, it was just at the end of the last Scooby-Doo. He's a pain in the ass.
Oh, okay.
Ah.
Yeah.
Ah,
Yeah, that is kind of
was.
sad.
That's left to opinions.
he's
Sad
a
to
cartoon
say.
character. for goodness
Absolutely.
sakes.
Jeez.
No, he
Jeez.
was a pain.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
Yeah.
That was his character.
I'm going with Trusty from Lady and the Tramp. Don't
Listen to
recollect
you.
if I ever mentioned Old Reliable before. Yeah.
Wow.
Remember
Hey,
Trusty?
all right.
Old school.
That was really good. I
Yeah.
loved Trusty growing up. He was so good.
going old.
Copper was a close second from, what was it, Fox and Hound back in the day? Yeah, but
See, Scotty was my favorite from Lady and the Tramp.
yeah, Scotty was great.
Scotty was my favorite.
Scotty was great. He's the leader.
Wow. Sheriff, welcome in this morning. What is your pick for question of the day?
You know, I was thinking about this. I'm going to have to go with, remember Odie from Garfield?
Good one.
Oh,
Odie.
yeah.
He was just dopey
He
dog.
was just off the chain, yeah.
Yeah, but the sweetest dog in the world.
Yeah.
It's just
Yeah.
dumb.
There's the
Garfield
best.
just tortured him.
Yeah.
He's going to say, yeah, Garfield tortured him.
Totally
Totally
did.
Sounds like my marriage.
Oh,
Kendall's listening too. I'm just kidding. I love you. I'm just kidding.
You always have to apologize to Kendall on this show.
I blacked out for a minute.
Kenny Turner and Hooch was not a cartoon.
Yeah, you gotta have a cartoon, Kenny.
Close.
Cartoon.
Dog.
No cigar.
Go to Balto.
The wake and bake hit him too hard this morning.
Right.
Was that dog's name? Balto? Yeah, Balto.
Balto.
Yeah, Balto was.
Balto was a movie, but Balto was actually a real dog.
Why do you ruin everything, Troy?
So that's how the Iditarod.
Let Kenny live his life.
Yeah.
You're fine, buddy. He's a cartoon.
All right.
What is your What is your answer?
We all see things.
Hooch is not a cartoon.
It can be in everybody's life. It's okay.
Ask Tom Hanks. All right, and mine's Hong Kong Phooey.
Hong Kong Phooey,
yeah.
Yeah.
Listen
He
to
was
you.
a superhero.
Yeah, I
So-
remember him.
Yeah. Hong
Fact
Kong.
checking. Fact checking.
You don't know who Hong Kong Phooey
I gotta
is?
be honest. I don't lie on. Oh, now I see.
Yeah.
Have I
Was
seen this
he
before?
Underdog? He wasn't Underdog.
No, Underdog was a different superhero.
one. Yeah.
The Underdog could actually
Phooey.
fly.
Right. Yeah.
Hong Kong Phooey was a janitor that worked in a police station, but he solved crime.
Right.
You
Actually,
dissed your boy though. You dissed your boy Goofy. Like really? That was your homie.
See, I'm not even sure if he's a dog.
Oh, he's a
'Cause Pluto's
dog.
a dog. He
Pluto.
can't talk.
Right.
Goofy can talk.
Right.
So why is it? I'm not sure. Goofy's
Total
even a dog.
dog.
Okay.
You're saying Goofy's not a dog?
I'm not sure.
You just crushed a lot
He's
of people
7
out
foot
there.
tall.
Huh.
What
Great
kind of
Dane.
dogs- What kind of dog's 7
Great
foot
Yeah,
Dane.
Great
A
Dane.
big one.
Well, Scooby Doo is a Great Dane, and Marmaduke's a Great Dane, but I'm not sure Goofy's a Great Dane.
Nobody said Brian Griffin.
Well, that's a great
Brian
answer,
Griffin-
actually.
We haven't,
Brian
we haven't
Griffin
finished yet. We got
was
the
on my
production
list.
group.
No, we skipped the production.
Okay, never mind.
All
They, they had too many bad answers.
We're on to that. Okay,
We
never
just
mind.
left
My
them out.
bad.
Cutting them out.
Okay, sorry about that.
Oh my
Not the
god.
best.
He said hooch.
See, that's why we don't let him answer. That's why we don't let him answer.
See, Kenny, there is another one.
No, and Kenny just says Lassie.
Yeah.
Not a cartoon, Kenny.
All yellers
Wasn't
next.
there a cartoon of Lassie for like a year?
And
I'm
Kenny's
really
house,
trying
yes.
for
Kenny-
Kenny. I'm
Kenny's
really
house.
trying
You're
for
fine, Kenny. Drive on, brother.
No, please don't be
Don't
driving.
drive.
right now.
No, don't drive today. Don't drive today, pal.
No.
Yeah, go home and rest.
You are correct.
Go home and
2014,
rest.
there was a Lassie TV animated series.
See?
Yes.
Come on.
All right. Well,
I knew there had to be. I didn't know there was one. I knew there had to be at some
Should
point.
be one.
Next,
Should
Kenny's
have
going to
been
say
one.
Mickey Mouse is a dog. Kenny, take the day off now.
That's right. Relax, Kenny. It's all good.
We love you, brother. Take
We
the day
do.
off.
We do. All right. All right, man. I'll be looking forward to what people say there in the comments. What do you got for a quick check of the weather, Troy? Quick check of the weather brought to you by Great Expectations Realty and Auction. They can sell your home, your business, and everything in it. Check them out at geauction.com and gerealty.us. We now go to the booth for our traffic report. This is where we call on them.
I
Sheriff.
got you. Yes, sir.
For the traffic report.
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right.
What is that?
Is that Fred Flintstone running from the cops there?
Our favorite dog back here.
Oh, yeah. All right. Yeah, Dino, right?
Dino.
Yeah. Okay, Dino running from the cops.
Sheriff and the boys chasing our
That boy?
Sheriff,
Oh,
you need
no.
some faster cars.
No,
if
we
you
would've
let
pit- we
him
would've
get it.
pitted him by now.
I'm saying.
Yeah,
He's
you
in
would
a ditch
have.
by now.
Need some stop sticks.
Yeah, he's going too long for us.
Must be a
Yeah.
different county.
Yeah.
Must be a different county.
That's right. Yeah.
Different state.
Well, it
Yeah.
is Bedrock, right? That's not in St. Johns County. Bedrock.
there we go.
Oh, there we go.
Oh, there we
Crashed.
go. Innocent
Wow.
person.
All right. Oh, he's on his feet
Oh,
now.
it's a foot
Jeez, oh, it's
pursuit.
Fred. That's
the police
Fred.
force.
That's what I'm talking about.
Wow. Okay.
Whoa.
All
That's
right.
not Dino.
That's
Fred.
definitely not us. I don't see
Don't
him
want to show
Baku.
that on there.
No. Yeah.
Oh, wait a second.
Okay, there it is. That's nice. Whoopsie doodle.
Went a little too far with that one.
Jeez. Okay, that was definitely not you guys.
Definitely not us.
Definitely
No,
not.
sir.
I mean,
No,
you would
no,
have
no.
seen
Duval or
Sheriff
something.
Gentler.
Yeah.
Kindler Gentler.
Yeah. That was Miami PD, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're
All
not
right.
bringing their best.
All right.
That was the Town Center Mall. That's not us.
That traffic report comes to you from a Lace Med Spa. If you're feeling tired and your skin is craving a revival, look no further than a Lace Med Spa. Their unmatched expertise and luxurious ambiance sets them apart in a league of their own. They provide personalized treatments and rejuvenating facials designed to bring back your youthful radiance. Nobody in town comes close. You have high standards, and so do they. Check them out at alace.com. All right. Sheriff Hardwick in studio this morning.
Good
Officially,
morning.
good morning to you.
Morning to you.
How you been, sir?
Good. Appreciate you. Just a lot going on in our little county here. As kids go back to school, just
There
a lot
is,
going
yeah.
on. Yeah, a lot of people
Yeah.
heading back home from vacation and,
Yeah.
of course, election time and a lot going on.
Yeah. A lot going on in your life.
Yes.
I know you don't sleep much anyway, but
No.
geez, you must be getting no sleep right
Thank
now.
God I don't drink anymore either. My goodness gracious. Yes,
You stay hydrated.
Yeah, we would have been out late last night, us four. Yeah. My treat last night if I was a drinker. Not
Okay,
anymore.
all right.
Yeah.
You mentioned school starts Monday.
Yes,
What do we
Monday.
need to know for school starting?
First of all, there's, sometimes the numbers are a little bit skewed, but, 52,000 kids are returning to public schools just in St. Johns County alone on Monday. But we have 2 brand new schools opening too. We need to make sure we pay attention to. So Trout Creek is opening, which is off 16A.
Right.
If you're heading towards, of course, the Shands Bridge area out there towards the backside of Rivertown. And then also, too, Lakeside is opening, which is off of County Road 210, right across from Beach Walk. And the reason why we're putting a lot of information out about those is just because we know traffic patterns are going to change, substantially on Monday morning. And we just ask people that, first of all, you're back planning. The schools are out, or schools are in session on Monday. So your bicycles are out, your walkers are out. Of course, your school buses are out everywhere. You got new parents that are driving their kids to different schools for the first time. And then you got brand new schools like we just talked about. So we ask you to be patient. We try to let certain things work themselves out over the next 2 weeks and just give it time to kind of see what we can do better with the school district to make things just move a little bit more smoothly. So
Tweak the drop-offs and
yeah,
stuff like that.
especially on
Always a little
16A.
bit changes.
Yeah, and what they're putting out on 16A, the school district, is you can make a right-hand turn if you're heading westbound, but you cannot make a left-hand turn if you're heading eastbound on 16A.
Right.
So we got to work through those issues as the infrastructure, of course, improves itself over there. So anyways, just a lot going on. We're adding 2 brand new canines this year to our schools.
Oh, great.
They're going to be narcotics dogs, and they're going to smell gunmetal. So that's
Cool.
a new
Okay.
addition to our schools
Nice.
this year. Of course, we have our new threat assessment deputy sheriffs. They're now in their 2nd full year. They're just doing threat assessments and nothing else for the entire school district. And then also, too, of course, we had our first full year of Strategics last year, which is the silent alert system that we actually have in place with the school district, where any of the 6,000 plus employees can actually push their Strategics and alert the St. Johns County Sheriff's Office with no time delay and give their GPS location too. So just a lot going on in St. Johns County. So we ask you just be prepared to prepare wisely, go to school with plenty of time. And then also, too, we're asking these parents to drive the route, or if they're riding bicycles, ride the route with your children before school starts. So maybe over the weekend, just ride that route and kind of educate your kids on, the safe way to get there, so to and from. So
Smart idea.
Yeah, and also, too, our school crossing guards are amazing. We have just under 70 of those. They'll be out at 98 locations across posts across St. Johns County, getting just thousands of kids to and from school. So they're amazing. We just want to give them a shout out, and we appreciate them too as well. Yeah,
Yeah,
big day
definitely.
coming up. Yeah,
I don't know if you know the answer to this. Is St. Johns County School District the largest employer in St. Johns County now?
Yes. Yep.
Okay.
Yep. It sure is. Yeah.
I mean,
think
just
they're
the
around
way we're
6.
growing with schools and stuff like
Yeah,
that.
they're the
it
largest
seems
employer.
Like they would be.
Yep. They're the largest employer. Then, of course, St. Johns County, not us, is next. The Board of County Commissioners, and I think Grumman's right behind them, and we're not too far behind.
Yeah.
And I know the traffic patterns up in that area get really bottlenecked. And I know they strategically did some start times that are different. So if
did.
everybody wants to see that, head to the St. Johns County School District page. It's right there at the top,
Yep.
and everybody can see like what the start times are for those specific areas. Because some things in Nocatee don't start till 8:40.
Yep.
Where some things down here will start at 7:30. So you really got to check on what school you're going to.
So glad you said that too as well, because everybody thinks there's a generic time where the elementary starts, the middle school starts, and the high school starts. That's not correct. There's elementary, there's K through 8, there's middle schools, there's high schools, and then there's also staggered times because these schools are so close together in location. Yeah, and the buses, of course, are running too. So please, like Davey said, check out the St. Johns County School District website, because it's not a generic time that all these schools start. So you're really not. It's not going to be good to travel around St. Johns County on Monday between about 7 o'clock and about 9 o'clock as we get this first day of school worked out.
Yeah.
And I know school safety has been a top priority for you since you took over as sheriff.
Sure.
And it sounds like with everything you've implemented over the last few years, sounds like we're in good shape going into the school year.
I think we are too. We're not, safe proof. I hate to say that, or fail proof.
course.
I think we're a little more vigilant, based on technology based policing. We did enter a new contract with a brand new license plate reader system about a year and a half ago called Flock. When we sat down with Flock, we actually strategically located these license plate readers around every one of our schools in St. Johns County. We also have deputy sheriffs at a lot of our charter schools, and also to some of our private schools too as well. So just we challenge the parents and the kids, get to know your youth resource deputy sheriff. You should know them by name. We tell them, of course, to be visible. They did a lot of training over the summertime at Freedom
Right.
Crossing, at Bartram and Tecoy Creek. So we just ask you to get to know that youth resource deputy sheriff. And if you're asking why your deputy's not outside directing traffic, that's not their job. Their job is to contain that school before opening and after closing. So again, we want them in the school, visible to our parents and our children, so and our staff too as well. So we put a lot of investment into our schools over the last 2 years for safety and security. And of course, it's post, 2018, Marjorie Stoneman Douglas.
Yeah.
And some of the stuff like Alyssa's Law was forced on us, but for good reasons, by the way.
Yeah.
And of course, Alyssa's Law for us is Centegix. And Alyssa was murdered, of course, at Marjorie Stoneman Douglas. She was a freshman there. So anyways, I think we're doing a lot of good things. We always tell you too, if you see something suspicious, say something to us.
Right.
Call our system or call our 911 system. Our helicopters can be up a lot more this year during the closing and opening and school times too. With now
great.
we have more pilots,
Wow,
which is
that's
great.
awesome.
Sure,
Yeah.
yeah. And once our new helicopter course gets here, and we get rid of this 1969, it'll be up even more. The 1969. It's time to retire.
Literally a Vietnam War helicopter,
Yeah, so
wasn't it?
they did the research on it, of course, by the actual tail number on there and the actual, basically like their version of a VIN number on there. That thing was actually in Vietnam.
That's crazy.
No way.
Yeah, that's
Yes, sir.
wild.
Really?
Yes, sir.
Wow.
Well, back in the day, we basically bought through the 1033 program, the government gave us X amount of helicopters and parts, and then our mechanics magically appeared basically and
Parts.
made,
Parts.
Wow.
made 1968 helicopter, 1969 helicopter, which we still have. The two previous ones have since perished, if you remember. One actually lost total fuel malfunction and crashed into TPC about 5, maybe 6 years ago, maybe.
Wow.
That was Matt Bellamy, who was the pilot that landed it, little bumped up. Stacy Attell was the passenger.
Yikes.
And then probably about 5 or 6 years prior to that, another of the old Vietnam Air helicopters had a right here. Yeah, like Troy said, came up over the sheriff's office over headquarters, lost total fuel malfunction. Mark Sham was the pilot. BJ Hall was the co-pilot. They put the thing back down in front of the Wise Potato Chip Factory and walked out of there, but again, bumped and bruised up. So we got to get rid of this helicopter and get our pilots. And this community deserves something better, by the way.
very fortunate
We
because
can't
there was
wait till these just die.
No.
There was a part of the helicopter that came off and hit a van.
Yeah. One of our
On
crime
that
scene vans. Yeah.
hit the
It was
crime
part of the
scene
prop.
van. And the prop went through
Yeah,
the side of the crime scene van.
Those are single propellers, as opposed to our new helicopter will have 4. I mean, so it's a big difference, of course, too. But of course, our people in St. Johns County deserve the best equipment to protect and serve them, and we're going to have it soon.
So then, can you comment on the use of drones then
Sure.
versus the use of a helicopter?
Yeah.
What's the use of a helicopter more so than using drones over schools or whatever?
Sure.
What's the benefit there?
It's a big difference, actually. They got 2 different roles, which is kind of crazy. That drone kind of operates at that 300-foot level and below kind of thing. And, of course, the helicopter is the opposite way up. With the drones, of course, that's immediate. We do it all the time, actually. So right now in St. Johns County, the goal is to have a drone and a drone pilot in the North region, the Central region, and the South region. And for some reason that drone pilot's not available, we have a great partnership with St. Johns County Fire Rescue with Chief McGee and his crew over there, who also have some drone pilots. So the goal of that drone is to get up. And let's talk real quick about just last week. We had a dementia person that actually wandered off behind her house up in northern St. Johns County, and we found her on a wood line. The drone was immediately deployed for that quick rapid response, but then the helicopter's up looking from that 1,000-foot view. As opposed to the drone is more, dedicated to the areas where it can't it's got a small, just a smaller capacity. And then you have human eyes. The human eyes, of course, you have a pilot flying, and you have a secondary person, whether it's a co-pilot or a tactical flight officer, in there physically looking through the cameras, using that technology-based stuff, whether it's IR, whether it's heat sinking. I mean, so it's 2 separate missions. And then the other thing too, of course, the helicopter, the goal is to back up our deputy sheriffs, get quicker on top of the scenes where we can secure them, just because simple fact is we just can't move around St. Johns County as quick as we used to based on just traffic.
Right.
So again, just 2 separate missions. They really don't go hand in hand. One's kind of that quick response, that immediate response, and the helicopter is looking for that, that 30,000-foot view, but 1,000-foot view basically.
Yeah. And I can just tell you, as somebody who flies drones for work,
Sure.
the drone has like a 20 to 30 minute battery life.
Whoa.
And that's it.
Okay,
And
yeah.
then it's gone. And your drone can't fly more than a few miles away from the operator. So if there's a chase, obviously it's a helicopter, hands down. That you
Yep.
have to-
And don't forget though, and you are a drone operator, but don't forget, our restrictions are much more stricter on law enforcement side. We can't lose eyesight of it. We can't go about, ours is very, very strict on how
really?
we can use the drones.
didn't realize
We're
that.
regulated by law,
Yeah.
as opposed to basically a civilian using a drone doesn't have as many laws. Their hands are tied. Our hands are tied. Theirs are not. So again, 2 separate operations, but also too, like our night vision and our IR infrared, it'll wear down the battery even quicker on there. So let's say it's a nighttime mission on there.
bet.
That helicopter can stay up for, hour, if not more.
Wow.
I remember at Florida Man games, the drone operator landed his in the tree.
Who was that?
I don't know who you're talking about.
It was me.
I was trying to let you off the hook, Rick.
Full responsibility.
Rick, we love confessions, brother. We love confessions, Rick.
I go hard for the job, and I'll get in the hard to get spots that the others can't.
That's
Yeah,
right.
boy.
You had to climb up in that tree to get it out of there, I
I
think.
got it back. I got the footage and everything.
He got it back.
Anything else you want to confess to while we're here today?
Off air.
Yeah, so just two separate missions, but so totally essential now to what we do every day.
Yeah.
And we just got a nice size grant to replace a lot of our DJI, ones that were actually the governor actually signed off because they're made in China. So we just got a big grant to replace a lot of those too with American made stuff. Yep.
Oh,
so,
interesting.
So we'll have even more
Good.
drones out there. Yep.
Nice.
Awesome. Thanks
Hey,
for asking.
You guys had a recent canine retirement, didn't you? Did I see something about this?
Yeah. Canine Judge, he's been a special dog, almost like a therapy dog, but Canine Judge actually was born in Slovakia in 2015.
Oh, wow.
June 12th, 2015. And then he came into service in America with our handler, which is Scott Wright, in 2016. 2015 born, 2016 in December, he came into service here and was certified in 13 different imprints. And those 13 different imprints, of course, were different types of basically explosive ordinances that, that dog actually could smell and detect. Had a great career. He's done a lot of federal missions with United States Secret Service, FBI, ATF. He's worked Jaguar games. He's worked college games, high school games. He's worked at NASCAR down in. So he's got basically the human version of ALS. So as he's now, he's getting close to the end of his cycle of life, but he's also, has the like I said, the human version of ALS. Wow. He's just a special animal. So Scott Wright will get another bomb dog. Actually, he's heading to bomb school. We've done something different with him. So it only makes sense if a bomb dog handler is bomb trained, then we kind of kill two birds with one stone, per se.
Right, yeah.
So Scott Wright's heading off to bomb school, and then when he comes back, he'll get him a new bomb dog. But Judge is going to retire at home. He's just it's a special dog too. He looks just like the meanest dog ever. He's a beautiful, he's actually a German Shepherd from Slovakia, but he is the most kindless, gentle dog, and really become my little therapy dog. But he's just so approachable. So yep, he's retiring, and Scott Wright is going to continue to work canines. So. Yeah,
That's awesome.
Special day. Yeah. Smart Paws was so good to us. They made a cake for him, and those,
that's so fun.
They're so amazing down there. But
They are amazing.
They are great people and great partnership with us.
Yeah. Very
Blessed.
cool. Very cool. Your DUI unit was also. Were you guys recently honored down there in Fort Myers?
Yeah. So every year the Mothers Against Drunk Driving has a banquet. It used to be at Fort Lauderdale. Now it's at Fort Myers. Kind of moves around the state. It was a packed house down there. Kendall and I was honored too, as well as, being, of course, supporting basically impaired driving. And our unit some of our DUI members on there have over 1,000 DUIs in their career. Some came from like other counties, but they have over 1,000 DUIs. But they recognize there was probably a full house, over 1,000 people down there in Fort Myers. And we are recognized, yes. And some of our deputies, too, are recognized for if you exceed 100 DUIs in a year, MAD actually honors you. And then they always have some impact statements that get up on stage and tell about how their lives were taken, their children were taken from them. It was a great ceremony. Kendall and I physically haul butt down there and haul butt back. But our men and women of our DUI unit, every one of our DUI people are also drug recognition experts. So the old school days that we always heard about, DUI, it's, drinking alcohol and driving. It's way beyond that now.
Sure. Yeah.
It's impairment from illegal narcotics, prescription narcotics, legal narcotics, sleep deprivation. I mean, there's a lot of things that go on with impaired driving. When you simply, when you see a DUI in our jail, it's kind of misconstrued a little bit. That person might not be a drinker at all. It might be impaired by something else that is, basically, their ability to go ahead and think. Oh, they're operating a motor vehicle on there too as well. But there's something that DUI unit has done is, they have decreased serious bodily injury and death in St. Johns County by 15%. It's unheard of across the nation. And as you know, as our population continues to grow by 43%, I think over the last 10 years, we're not out there. This isn't a stat-driven thing. This is getting people off the road that are saving lives. In the old days of you got a DUI, almost like the rest of your career, you're like looked down upon. Well, those days are over with. People make mistakes in life. I mean, and with that, I said we help them get back on their feet. But the key is that you're watching the sentences right now on DUI with serious bodily injury, to include death. It's 15 years in prison. You're talking about a person that's not a criminal. You're talking about a person that makes a mistake in life, gets behind the wheel, and then, whatever dozes off or just makes a judgment based on their impairment, and it takes an innocent family or innocent life, and then the courts are sentencing them around 15 years So we'd rather you spend 2 or 3 hours in our jail. You get out, it usually gets played down to a reckless driving. We're not there to hammer you. We're there to get you off the roads and hopefully get you back on your feet and do the right thing. So listen, we've all been there. I mean, I haven't drank in almost 14 years, but we've all been there, made mistakes in life. But those times you make it home time and time again, you get lucky. And there's eventually a time where you don't make it home and you ultimately pay the sacrifice. So we're just trying to educate. There's no reason now, there's so many other ways to get home. Like we didn't have those ways when I was younger, When I was at Fort Bragg, North Carolina, you gambled the dice and drove. I mean, you just did because there's no other ways to get, the cabs are so nasty. But anyways, now there's so many ways to get home with this, social media platforms out there with Ubers and Lyfts and cabs and friends and all that stuff.
Just having the availability. I mean, you'd have to do a payphone. Anybody know the number?
Yeah, that's a good point. That's a good point.
True. The availability is there. I mean, and everybody's got somebody that'll come get you.
By far, yeah.
Even if you didn't want to pay for an Uber, everybody's
totally agree.
got somebody that'll come get you.
And I'm embarrassed since I've been your sheriff. We've had some employees that have been arrested, and of course they lose their job, but also too I help them get jobs somewhere else usually.
Yeah, but they didn't lose their life.
They didn't lose their life. Or
Right.
take
And
somebody
nobody
else's
else
life.
did.
There you go. Yeah. That's all. So they get recognized. They get recognized every year, but there was cops and troopers and deputies from every agency across the state of Florida there to not just receive the awards, but honor MAD for what they do too as well. And that's a bunch of families that have actually lost loved ones. So it's a special place down there when we go to that every year.
Very cool. Well, let me do a little bit of business here, and then we will get back. I want to talk about this missing persons case where the remains were found recently. We've been able to identify some remains, and I want to talk a little bit about that. And we'll talk about the Donut Dash and early voting, which is starting soon. So we'll get into that in just a second. But first, we got to do the Gas Buddy Gas Report. Let us know in the comments where you are seeing good prices for gas. We would definitely very much appreciate that. And we will start with the Sunoco up there at 324 this morning. We got the Shell at 146 King Street, 325. The Gate at 4075 US 1 North, 326. The other Gate on Mizell Road. Wow, they're near the top of the list this morning. That's impressive. Also 326.
Wow.
The Shell at 216 Ponce de Leon Boulevard reporting at 326 as well. Same with the Circle K at 4564 US 1 North. We've got the Owens at 780 South Ponce also at 326. 326 at the Sunoco at 450 South Ponce. Then it jumps up to 329 with the Mobile and Circle K at 800 South Ponce. And then you got your Citgo at 1099 South Ponce, 335. That's what they're listing as their cash price this morning. If you get in trouble and you got to spend some time at the Hardwick Hotel, well, Chris Lucero wants you to spend as little time as possible out there at the Hardwick Hotel.
Hey, I like that.
They have experienced professionals available for you 24/7 to provide fast and reliable bail services, ensuring that you or your loved one can get out of jail and back to your life as soon as possible. His number, 904-822-BAIL. That's 904-822-2245. We got a big list of live music happening today.
Okay.
So if you're ready to go check in on some live music, we'll tell you where to find it. Scott Halls at the Milltop Tavern at noon. Brad Edwards at Bin 39 at 1. Tony Scazzaro at La Cocina at the Cellar upstairs, 1 o'clock. Lots of live music going on there still. That's good. Heather Craig, Trade Winds, 1. Chase Fork or Pierre's Pub at 1 o'clock. Damon Slaughter at Bin 39 at 4. Ken Macy at the Milltop at 4:30. Evan D at the Guy Harvey Resort at 5. Lonesome Birch, Thick and Thin String Band at Marina Munch at 5 o'clock. The new guys on the dock at the Oasis at 5. Mark Hart at Trade Winds at 5. We got Big Papa Fish at DJ's Clam Shack, 6 o'clock. Burn Unit, Fusion 904 Eatery at 6. Okay, you guys. Grow up, you guys.
It's probably not going to happen.
Colt McKenna at Kingfish Grill at
Papa.
6. Daryl Ray at Mellow Mushroom at 6 o'clock. Beck and Summers Band at Tides at 6. Dharma at Casa Divino at 57 at 7 o'clock. Fortune Child at Colonial Oak at 7. Yeah, man.
Good.
Vegas Gray at Pesca Volano, 7 o'clock. Soja. Oh, they're good. I like their music, man. I've liked their music for a long time. At the Amp at 7 o'clock.
Oh.
Cam Wheaton.
Wheaton.
Chase Foraker, Hayes, and Jonathan Lee at Pierre's Pub at 7 o'clock. Not Quite Dead at Dog Rose Brewing at 8 o'clock.
Thank God.
Dewey Vaya at Meehan's at 9. And Ramona at Prohibition Kitchen at 10 o'clock.
Ooh, that's special.
Yeah, man.
Cool.
Speaking of special, Griffin understands that choosing the right company when you need AC, plumbing, or electrical services is a big decision. They help hundreds of local families just like you and yours every week fixing problems so that you can get back to what really matters, living life. You see them everywhere, dozens of times a week, and when you do, it always means legendary service is on the way. If you have an AC, plumbing, or electrical issue, give Griffin a call. They make it easy. 904-500-2653 or visit griffinservice.com and see the Grifference. We do have a Florida Man Friday story brought to you by Chris Lucero Bail Bonds as well. This has to do with a Florida man being arrested for throwing spaghetti sauce.
This happens in my family all the time.
Does it?
Oh, it's Italian. I mean, we get very passionate
Maybe
about
these are members of your family.
I hope so.
You hope so.
Yes. Give me
Some timeouts.
Yeah, give me a break.
All right.
Chris, don't take the call.
Seriously, leave me alone.
Wow. Oh.
Yeah.
Spaghetti sauce.
We'll tell you about that after I tell you about our friends at Fidus Roofing. Hurricane season is here, and now is the best time to get your roof inspected. If you have damages now, you want to document them before a hurricane comes so that you don't have to pay a hurricane deductible for those same damages. Local company for over 15 years, and all their employees live right here in St. Johns County, which is great. Give them a call, 904-355-ROOF.
They do pavers.
And gutters.
You!
Yeah.
All right, a Florida man was arrested after throwing spaghetti sauce at his mother during an argument. This may be your family, Davey.
Could be, actually. Very passionate.
A Florida man arrested after throwing spaghetti on his mother, according to police reports. The St. Petersburg resident, Anthony Eldon.
Aunt.
Sorry.
Come on.
No.
Anthony?
No kid?
Yeah.
No?
Allegedly threw spaghetti sauce at his mother, Denise Camadesa.
Oh, there it is. It's Italian.
Yeah.
There's no allegedly in here. Either you got sauce on you or you don't.
Right. You know?
The evidence is
been an
there.
accident.
You're just going
Or
to shut
self. Or you could throw it on yourself.
Could've been an accident.
Right?
Throw it yourself.
There's been a lot of spaghetti
Stage.
accidents.
Was it hot or cold, does it say?
Doesn't say the temperature of the spaghetti sauce.
Because if it's hot, it's not you.
We ain't got there yet.
Okay, sorry.
Threw it in her hair after a verbal argument on Sunday. Eldon, also known as Anthony Fiacco.
Oh, this
Boxer.
Made his name even more Italian sound.
Yeah.
Fiacco.
Okay, well, there he is. There's Tony.
Oh, Tony.
He
He
was
was
like a
arrested.
spaghetti sauce.
You would
He
throw
looks like a
sauce.
spaghetti sauce coward.
How dare you throw sauce on your
Yeah.
He
mother?
was arrested after resisting an officer without violence after the incident. It's unclear whether the spaghetti sauce thrown at Miss Camadesa was hot at the time. Sheriff, good question. Good question.
Yeah, I'm thinking homicide here. Keep going.
How dare you throw the book at this guy?
Right.
According to the arrest affidavit, Eldon has lived with his mother for 5 years. Get a job.
New
Eldon.
relationship.
Yeah.
Hey, it's a mommy's boy. I mean, come on. Yeah, she feed him. Obviously, he's got a
His
full.
mom lived with him.
Yeah, he's got a full face.
think
He's got
he's
to
doing
eat.
Well,
just
he
fine.
tells people his mom lives
He
with
tells
him.
people mom lives
Yeah,
there, even
that's
though
right.
she's the one who owns that.
Right.
She's
Yeah,
got
let your
asthma,
kids
yeah.
move back in after they leave. I'm telling you, that's
Wow.
lesson number one. Don't let them come back.
Okay.
She's got,
Well,
she's got agita. She
Yeah.
needs help.
I would be dead if I didn't move back in with my mom.
Like-
Oh, I wouldn't.
Well,
Yeah.
I'm going to tell you something. If I were to
Blake's
throw
never
spaghetti
moved out.
sauce on my wife, my booking photo would not look like that.
right. Yeah.
Yeah.
The sauce would be the least of your
Yeah.
worries.
After the incident, Eldon fled from the house and allegedly hid behind the bushes in his backyard from
How does
police.
that big guy
He
hide?
hid in his backyard?
Let me
Behind a
guess.
tree?
Let me
Come
guess.
on,
The
man.
canine found him because of spaghetti sauce.
Oh,
Canine's
that's
over there.
good, right?
Bloodhound.
Scooby Doo over here.
Officers announced, "Show me your hands," to Eldon while he was in the bushes, resulting in further evasion. The affidavit shows that Eldon was not under the influence of drugs or alcohol at the time. That's shocking. And was not considered someone with mental health issues.
Okay, he's straight up just
Just straight up weird.
spaghetti eater.
Yeah.
Need- yeah.
Obviously, he's not running away from anybody. You saw that guy.
Do you guys have a big budget here? I'm sure you do. Let's request let's do a public records request. Rick, public records request the body worn camera. It's got to be entertaining.
I bet it is. I bet it is.
Yeah, because there's more to that story. It's like he evaded more. There's more to that story.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
Eldon has since been released on his own recognizance from the Pinellas County Jail.
Judge felt bad for him. Yep.
Okay. The same. I
Probably
love
meant
that we've got the play-by-play with you on some
Probably
of these
met the
Florida Man
mother. Probably
Fridays.
met
It's
the mother.
great.
She's a
No, he
lunatic.
released on his own recognizance and paid him money. He felt bad for him.
He knew.
Okay.
He knew the mom.
The St. Petersburg Police Department did not immediately respond to digital requests for comments, but Hey, there you go, man.
I mean,
That's one of those things you go to work as the chief law enforcement officer. Is like, hey, what's going on today? Well, we had a guy got thrown spaghetti on him. He resisted. The dog bit him.
Listen, if he has to face the rest of his family, going to jail would probably be the best.
Yeah.
So he's going to
Italian
have to
family,
pay. Oh,
you don't
you're going to
disrespect
throw
your mother.
sauce on your own mother? How dare you?
There wasn't enough garlic.
That's right. That's a problem, right?
It's one of those things where you go to first appearance going, you've been charged with battery on your family member. We're going to release your no recognizance. No, don't let me out.
Yeah,
Don't
right.
let me out.
I object, Your Honor.
Spit on the judge. Mom, why are you going to let me out on my own?
Right.
I'll fix the sauce in the clinker.
Yeah.
See, I'm envisioning Will Ferrell sitting on the couch telling his mom for Meatloaf with this guy.
Will Ferrell, you would go there?
Oh my God, I love that part.
I remember. Yeah.
Where's the meatloaf?
Yeah.
You guys want some meatloaf? You want some meatloaf?
I never loved Will Ferrell movies.
You didn't. Yeah, he's not a big fan.
No,
Never has
not a
been.
huge
What's
Will
wrong?
Ferrell
There's
fan.
one movie, maybe.
There's a couple that I
Yeah.
could get into, but not most of them.
All right.
Grow up, Will Ferrell. I mean, seriously. You don't have to act like a 14-year-old in all your movies. You're 60-something now.
take a complete offense of this.
Every morning we talk about fart jokes. And you're telling Will Ferrell to grow up.
Unbelievable.
That's part of our show.
Ban him from the show, please.
Really?
There goes that
He
interview.
plays a literal 14-year-old in all of his movies.
I am a 14-year-old every morning.
The gray beard says otherwise. Jeez, man.
That's a facade.
Hey, talk about this teen driving stuff you guys are doing. Sounds like it's been a huge success.
Yeah, it has. So I don't know why we resisted this for so long at the sheriff's office, but I want to put this process in place when I became your sheriff. It's a program that's actually run through the Florida Sheriff's Association, funded through, I think it's Allstate or State Farm, or one of those big insurance companies that actually fund the program. But anyways, we took it here this year to St. Johns County. We had a great partnership with Jack Hanania. Actually loaned us a bunch of cars from the Chevy dealership down there because some of our kids just didn't have cars. So over 250 kids went through our program. Our youth resource deputy sheriffs from our school division actually taught the program. They went to the instructor school for that. And of course, with our drive-in track out there, we had a controlled environment, which was actually good for the kids so they get out there.
Bumpers.
Yeah, it was actually awesome. So great program. And then we decided to go ahead and extend the program into the school year. So we're going to have dates are actually on our webpage where we're actually going to go ahead and do the teen driving challenge throughout the school year. But it gets us that side-by-side alone time with our kids in our schools and get that rapport building too. So it serves more than one purpose. You know, of course, these kids all came out throughout the summertime here and took their days to spend with our deputy sheriffs and learn, of course, the proper driving skills and techniques. But we got that one-on-one time too because they identify what school or high school they're from. And then you get that one-on-one time saying, I'm the youth resource deputy sheriff in that school.
That's great.
So yeah, it just forms those bonds and relationships. So there's more than just a teen driving challenge. It's three-pronged, right? It's just a great partnership. And then, of course, also, too, it gets a great relationship building with our young men and women that are actually driving now in St. Johns County. So overall, over 250 kids went through the program. And I think we led the entire state of Florida in the counties, which was awesome.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, it was
That's
awesome.
huge.
You teaching pit maneuvers too, or?
Well, no, it's funny you say that. So maybe I shouldn't say this. But anyway, so I was out there actually just checking on my people. And where's my attorney at? Never mind.
Yeah, don't answer. Come on.
Anyway, so I'm out there. And so, of course, I check on my people all the time all around St. Johns County. So I go out there. And then, of course, the kids are on the track out there. And then what we would do is actually put them in one of our cars because we want to do the controlled braking. We didn't want to do it in one of their own car and show them how the anti-lock brake system actually works at full speed.
Okay.
So we put them in one of our patrol cars that are assigned to the drive-in track out there and put them in the car and let them go ahead and do the I'm talking just, hey, go fast, and we'll tell you when to slam the brakes on, physically mat it to the floor.
Yeah, it's
and then
good
they
to learn.
see how the anti-lock braking system actually works. Well, and then we'd also take them for a little drive around the track after that.
But seriously, that would mean
So I
the
was
world
out
to
there,
me. Yeah.
they're like, hey, Sheriff, want to take the kids for a drive? I'm like, yeah, sure. And
I
just
had
leave it like that.
I had no
one kid in the
idea.
back seat was like this the whole time. He was like,
The backseat's not comfortable. I had no idea until you guys gave me a tour of like a cop car.
it's not cow-
It's not made for a guy your
no.
height.
I didn't know. Yeah, I had no
It's
idea.
too short for a guy my height.
It's like crazy. Yeah,
Yes,
not
we
luxury.
We just had a little fun in the car. Yeah, they actually had a good time. So,
Yeah.
but the one kid in the back seat from Creekside, I saw his eyes in my rearview mirror. I did a J turn at like 45 miles an hour, and he was in the back just.
Oh,
so
my
then we got
Lord.
done at the end, and they opened the doors. There was nothing being said. Like, oh, Sheriff, have a good day. No one said a word. I just got in my car and drove off. Yeah,
That's awesome.
yeah, it's all. That relationship building, that bonding
So
is,
cool.
is so important. It really is too. But also too, we're putting these kids back on the street, with a better understanding and sense of course, how the car actually responds to locking the brakes up or just simply taking an evasive turn. Part of the course is they go off the road onto the dirt and do a correction to get back on. The old days of jerking the tire to get back on. Now we teach them to ride the side of the road and get back on nice and slowly. Just some little things, of course, you learn as you grow up in life.
Yeah.
Great. We're going to add some stuff next year. We have some private donors here in St. John's County, so we're going to add some stop signs, some yield signs, some pedestrian walkways, and that way it gets them some other understanding of, where kind of, what you do when you approach those type of things.
Yeah.
It was awesome.
Smart.
It was phenomenal. Yeah.
And I think it's important for kids to learn that their sheriff and their youth resource deputies are humans, and they're looking out for their best
important.
interests.
Yeah.
I mean, I remember our youth resource deputies when I was in school. I had two that everybody still knows these days, Bo Strange and Tony Coleman.
Oh my
And
God.
they were great.
Yeah.
They were great youth resource deputies at
class
the schools,
people.
man.
Yeah, first
And they were
class.
just great at interacting with the kids. They were nice guys. They were fun guys to talk to. And I think that's what you want. And that's probably,
Completely agree.
That's how you connect with these kids.
I just spoke to them yesterday morning. All 62 of them were in a room basically as they get ready to go back. We're doing some training, just some little things we had to square away before they go back on Monday. And I was told them how proud I am of them. The old days of you're retired, now you're stuck in a school. These deputy sheriffs want to be there, and they're a special group of people in there, and it's a bunch of young men and women. It matches what our demographics look like in St. Johns County, and they're just they're just amazing. And I challenged them yesterday. I was like, hey, get to know your school crossing guards, get to know these kids, and spend time with these kids. But this is the group last year that were invited to birthday parties. Grown men like us invited to a little girl's 10-year-old birthday party because you're that special to her in school. So it's a special place. And I told them yesterday, I said, hey, if you think you're in trouble for playing foursquare or basketball or jump rope or being on the jungle gym, that's what we should be doing. So it's a great partnership we have with them, and we want these these kids, don't forget, just 4 years ago they're wearing masks. Just 4 years ago they were being told to hide in a corner because of active shooter training. I mean, these kids didn't grow up like us.
No.
So
those are traumatic experiences.
I have to
go
agree with
through
you.
school.
Yeah. So we again, we got to do something different so these kids feel welcome to come to school and they want to come there. So just doing something different.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's huge. I want to talk about an unfortunate update in a missing persons case.
Yeah, Carlos.
Yeah. We talked about Carlos Tavares.
Yeah.
We've been talking about him for the last couple of years, I think.
Sure.
And then I know we recently had a story about bones that were discovered.
Yeah, back
and
in
it
February
turns
this year,
Yeah, it turns out, unfortunately, these two stories are related.
Yeah, there's good and bad to it. We always want closure for these families. Of course, you always want the best result, which is coming home alive. But in this situation, Carlos disappeared back in 2022 and really just had nothing, no leads in it, nothing that came up. And then February this year, we had an individual that actually reported that they had found some skeletal remains, some bones near their property. So, of course, we went down there, we collected the bones. We looked for additional bones at the time and didn't find any. And then we sent all these bones off to the Florida Department of Law Enforcement laboratory, attesting them. Now, since we knew that Carlos was missing, we had, of course, some DNA on file through his loved ones that we could actually match up his DNA. So his DNA was actually matched up. We got the results back just here recently. They did come back to Carlos Tavares. And he disappeared, of course, in that area of Faith Street, back in 2022. We know people actually have information down there in the Flagler Estates area to the, basically what happened to Carlos. So we're asking them to come forward. Of course, they can be anonymous too as well, but we just want closure for that family down there. They deserve it. It's important to them. Yes, we returned Carlos to them with his remains, but now we need to figure out what happened to Carlos. So, and we're behind the eight ball. It's 2 years ago, 2022. So, again, just a horrific case, tragic. But again, also a little bit of closure too as well. But now we need to solve this case and see what exactly happened to him. So there'll be some different forensic exams done to his bones now. We've recovered more bones since then. And so the goal is, of course, with the forensics, examination by our medical examiner and maybe some additional outsourcing to see if there was some type of, something went on in there too as well.
What was the area like where you found him?
It was a very wooded area there behind some, down there they have bigger lots down there. So, but it was in a wooded area where it was actually found, but on a property line, close to a property line.
So a place where nobody's like really looking every single day.
No way.
Okay, got it.
No.
And from what I understand, that's kind of suspicious, and there is some belief that there may have been other individuals involved in this happening.
Yeah, and you're absolutely right, Pete. So there is some other people of interest, of course, we've been talking to that are cooperating with us. But again, we had to find what we have now is that body. So it gives us that missing piece to the puzzle per se. So our men and women are some of the probably the best in the country, I'll be honest with you, through our detectives and our investigators and our partnership with the State Attorney's Office Homicide Investigative Unit. But right now we just don't know what happened to him. And it really could be, who knows, it could be a drug overdose, could be a suicide, could be a murder. But we look at it holistically, of course, as a suspicious death.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I think it speaks a lot to the fact that, you guys have a lot of cases on your hands at all times.
Right.
Obviously, you guys are always busy. We're a very busy county and we're a growing county, but you guys don't forget about these cases. You guys are working these cases until you're finding resolutions.
Yeah, absolutely. And you just said something too that, we don't have a whole lot of I shouldn't say that. We don't have a whole lot of violent crime in St. Johns County.
Right.
I mean, the proof is in the pudding, meaning the stuff that we report to the Federal Bureau of Investigation, every year. And actually we've had a 10% reduction in crime, violent crime since I became your sheriff. And again, that's all that's actually, it's broken down by homicide, sexual battery, robbery, and aggravated assault in the north, but aggravated battery down here. It's one and the same crime, basically. So the only thing we had an increase in there was an 18% increase in sexual battery in there. We don't have a lot of homicides. I think TK Waters to the north of us had 118 last year. We had 3.
Right.
Ours are all solved, even though we haven't arrested on the last one yet. So again, we ask anybody to come forward, contact the St. Johns County Sheriff's Office, contact Crime Stoppers. You can remain anonymous, but let's give closure to this the family for Carlos Tavares.
Yeah, absolutely. Hey, I want to turn to a little bit more positive news. You guys got what's that?
Jovial news.
Jovial.
There it is.
Okay.
The man with the words, like
The PAL Donut
Yes.
Dash 5K. This is
The
happening
Donut Dash.
tomorrow.
Yes.
PAL's a great program. I love talking to your PAL deputies.
I know
and
they do a good interview every time they're on
they
here,
really
too.
do.
Yeah.
They're fun. They're great people, and
Yeah,
I can
they're
see why these
characters.
kids love them.
Yeah. So tomorrow's our annual, I think it's the second or third year we've done it. But anyways, it's our PAL 5K Donut Dash. So tomorrow at Nocatee, I'm right there in front of the Nocatee Field Station. So right near the splash parks per se. You'll see us all set up there. All proceeds go to our Police Athletic League. We service just over 2,200 kids a year through our Police Athletic League. So most of them are on free or reduced lunches too as well, which is awesome. So tomorrow, 8 a.m. At the Nocatee Field Station, right in front of you'll see the parking lot with all of our law enforcement cars out there. Ken and I will be out there too as well, like we do every year. And then also too, there's a 9 o'clock kids fun run. So the 5K kicks off at 8, and then the 9 o'clock kids fun run is at 9 o'clock. That falls right after the 5K. So come on out, have a good time. We got some great sponsors out there.
Peace, love, little donuts. You can't go wrong, right?
Peace, love, little donuts. Yeah, they are amazing, by the way. So also too, again, all this money, all the proceeds go right back to our Police Athletic League here in St. Johns County. So thanks for
PAL's
mentioning
come
that.
such a long way.
Yeah, crazy, right?
I mean, under Sheriff Perry, we didn't have a PAL, and I actually had to talk to corporate PAL to come in here and brought Mike Dillion.
Now Dillion
and he ended up being we started the PAL here, and Mike ended up being the head of all PAL all over the United States.
Wow.
Yeah.
I mean,
Special man, by the way, Mike DeLeon is.
Such a long way. No, great dude.
You remember the old Kevin Kelshar days, right?
Oh, yeah. No,
I mean, the PAL,
Kevin with his baseball team.
The PAL travel baseball team was like one of the best in the state. I mean,
Really?
Oh, yeah. Times I didn't
He
get on
takes
there.
that serious. I still play poker with Kevin every now and then.
Oh, do you really?
Yeah.
He's a real traveler.
He's been a family friend
He's
for a long
special
time.
man. I tell you, that guy's a special man, and his beautiful wife too as well. I mean, just special people.
Yeah.
And no hidden agenda, just raw
I love his
friendship.
because Kevin always traveled with a video camera.
Always.
Yes.
And-
He's got so many videos.
And on your birthday, he would put a video together for you. Like he put one of
He had such a
me
gift.
from the early '90s.
Yeah.
Like about 3 or 4 birthdays ago, and I was like, "Where did you get?" I'd never seen the footage. I think Ricky was actually in the video.
Wow.
Because it was me refereeing basketball, and I think I saw a little mean kid.
Yeah.
Really?
With the
little
middle
Ricky?
finger blurred out.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, Kevin, he put together some great videos too after he retired. I remember him putting
he's
some of
got a
those out
gift.
on social
I mean,
media.
he really was the author of that history book. I mean, he put all that work in that
Yeah.
history book
Yeah.
at the sheriff's office.
Yeah.
And it just got delayed because of COVID. But that man's got a gift. And but back in the PAL days, he had the elite, PAL baseball
He
team.
loves
I love that.
He still loves baseball.
Loves
I know
baseball.
he does.
Historian of baseball.
I think
My-
his grandson plays, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
I'm not-
I think so, right?
Okay,
Yeah.
I think so. Yeah, one of my first memories in life was going over to Kevin Kelshaw's house. This is before he actually worked for the sheriff's office.
Yeah.
Months before he actually got the job, actually. And we we would play RBI baseball on Nintendo.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I mean, even when he was playing video games, it was baseball video games. You know, it was great.
I mean, you got to figure when I took over the office of the sheriff, he was in the drop, so I lost that expertise.
Yeah.
And then Chuck Mulligan retired too as well. That was my go-to people there.
Yeah.
That was, that I've known my whole career.
Yeah.
Talking 30 years, probably each of them, and I've know those my whole life. But so that was something I had to rebrand, reestablish as a sheriff in St. Johns County. But just a great friend and a great mentor of mine, and just a special person. But again, he was the pal. Him and Mike DeLeon, man, they were the face of the PAL back in the days.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I mean, it was just, and Cynthia's over in Hastings, and I think she's still involved in the PAL.
She's doing something. Yeah, she's doing something over there. Yeah, with the the Hastings Warriors, I think. No, the Hastings. I'm drawing a blank. Anyways, with the Hastings youth over there, though. Yeah,
Cool.
Awesome people.
Hey, our last topic today: early voting starts tomorrow.
Goodness gracious.
Are you ready to just have this political stuff out of the way? I mean, I see. I watch TV and, there's these commercials popping up, and I know the stats, and I'm looking here like, they're just lying.
They're not even
just
true.
lying. They're not even trying to come close to the truth. And I can't imagine the effect that has on people like yourself who are running, and you're just trying to do a good job for people in St. Johns County, and you got to deal with this stuff. So you got to be excited that this stuff we're seeing the light at the end of the tunnel here.
I am, and this is probably the worst part of my job, of course, is running for office, because I love being a law enforcement officer. I love being a leader in law enforcement officer. I love serving my community. I love my community, but these politics, man, and it probably wasn't that bad maybe 20 years ago or 10 years ago.
Right,
About this mean thing here, and people are such cowards behind these things. They say the things, but I don't.
They don't even put their face out there. They have a lot to say, but no face.
Well, it's like I get these text messages. I try to call it back, and the phone is telespoof. I mean, come on, if you want to be a man or woman about it and talk about it, let's talk about it. But I stand on my. If this is what they're attacking me on, I'm okay. I'm okay, because it's not morals, it's not ethics, and it doesn't involve doing something with my wife that would embarrass my family. I'm okay with that. Don't smoke, don't drink.
Yeah.
I'll drive on, keep doing what I'm doing.
You got some new equipment. We talked about how outdated the helicopters are. You got some new helicopters coming, and you're paying your deputies more, which they deserve to be paid more. You can't live on these crappy $40,000 a year salaries in St. Johns County. You can't do it.
But we forget about everybody else that works behind the deputy sheriffs, like our 911 operators.
Right.
When I took over, they were making just over $30,000 a year. And we were short, and why we're short, trying to live in St. Johns County, and fast forward now, they make over $50,000 a year. We have 70 dispatcher positions. They're full staff. But also too, I got administrative. I hate the word secretary, but I got administrative staff that were making in the high $20,000. This is 3.5 years ago.
Yeah.
My lowest paid employee now is $40,000, and it doesn't sound like a lot, but coming from $29,000 is a lot of money. So it's in the low 40s. And we had school crossing guards that were making peanuts that get no benefits. I mean, if
you want the best of the best, they have to want to work there, and they have to be able to survive off their job.
Benefits and compensation and benefits are expensive. And, it's funny because somebody today twisted said it comes with a cost. You're darn right it comes with a cost. If you want to pay your people, it comes with a cost.
Yeah.
And the cost is increasing your budget to take care of your people. And if I can get my deputy sheriffs to $60,000 this year and compete with TK, who's going to 64, I would say you should be proud of us, because that's what you want, is you want first-class customer service and men and women that want to come to work.
Right. Yeah.
We don't want to lower our standards to bring men and women into this agency, and then you get poor customer service and complain because you got poor customer service.
Right.
I'm going to say because you refuse to give me money to increase my budget.
Yeah.
And the commission's been good to me. And not just here. The St. Augustine Beach Commission was good to me. Did the same thing there. And now the sheriff's office are doing the same thing. So I think we're in a great place, and we'll move forward. This will be over with, and God's got a plan for me. And whatever it is, I'm a man of integrity and honesty, and I love my wife, and I love my family, I love my community, and I will give you the next best 4 years. So put me back in office again 4 years, and we'll continue to move forward like we're doing now.
Let's rock and roll. Let's do it.
These commercials on everything else, though. Whoa. Yeah. I can only imagine between now and November.
Yeah.
It's going to get, I mean, as you turn on the TV, it's like, please just show me just the weather. Just for 5 seconds. I just want to see what the weather's going to be like.
I know.
Just want to see if I need my
It's
galoshes.
in every commercial block, these political ads.
Bless
It's
America,
nuts, man.
The bad part is
nuts.
no one else can afford advertisement because it jacks up the prices of everything else.
Everything else. Yeah. I can't imagine what goes into these. TV's not cheap. I mean, I know we're paying for commercials. I can't keep up with these other races out there, but I'm like, oh my God.
Yeah. I know it.
I just want my mailbox clean.
Yeah, I'm ready to
Well, if
shake
you come
that
work for
out.
me, you be protected. You ain't going to worry about that.
Oh, yeah.
I don't get them.
Oh,
I'm
yeah,
protected,
that's right.
Yeah, of course I get them from everybody else. Like, do you see this one, Sheriff? I'm like, nah, I really don't. Oh, that's a bad one.
Can we get some sort of, high profile person protection or something out here? I mean, there's a lot of people that, they got problems and they want to fight.
Right.
This is my thing. Aren't we held to a different ethical and moral standard, in these, especially my position, right?
Yeah.
So the other day, I will not go negative on whoever my opponent is. I will not go negative.
That's not
I'm
your
not
vibe.
doing it.
That's not who you are.
I'm better. Kendall and I are better than that.
Yes.
But also, too, I represent 1,000 men and women across the street. I'm just not going down that road. I mean, do I get in the car sometimes when Kendall be like, ah?
Of course. I hope so. That shows you need to
But
be able to have
with
them.
Kendall only.
That's it. Yeah.
I really don't. The funny thing is, people forget that my job stops. My election stops the other day because we had a hurricane coming. I got 300,000 people plus in this area who depend on me to make sure we're making the right decisions. So the campaign goes to the side. It's not important. What's important is to take care of our people during a storm because they're so unpredictable, as you know. So
And you've been in this world long enough where, like, okay, your truth about you. So whatever they say, really, I mean, it rolls off. And like when I was Parks and Recreation, people would say stuff and it rolls off. But I mean, the people around me that love me were just like, oh, and I was like, why are you listening to them? They're idiots. Why are you listening to them?
I know.
But I mean, the new people that just get into politics, there's a couple people out there that are really taking it to heart. And I'm just like, well, why are you listening to them?
Yeah.
You can't take that to heart. You
know what's funny?
You know your truth about you. That's all that matters.
I defended myself for a while. I'm like, wait a minute, I'm defending equipment and paying my people. And next thing you know, I'm defending myself, and a local media source interviewed me and says, what about your office? Did you renovate your office? I'm like, I was in the medical examiner's office where they cut bodies. Yes, I want to put a little paint on the walls because I have bad memories in there.
Yeah.
Well, did you renovate it again? No, I moved into the Wise potato chip factory, actually, which was the old commercial kitchen. If you come to my office, there's a little dip in the floor. That's where the grease strip was
Where the
at.
drain was.
So after we repurposed that building again since 1963, we moved our comms to a new building. I had to throw a little something on the wall to make it. I do have people come to my office, and I do want to be, I am representing the entire St. Johns County Sheriff's Office and the entire public.
Right.
I do want to look a little bit cleaned up a little bit.
Yeah, you're not the stock room at JCPenney's over there, right?
I had one of my cabins in this morning. This was a stove room sitting there. Yes, sir. It's the stove we were sitting at.
When I read that, I was like, that's all they got? I'm
That's
sorry.
right.
Yes.
I literally read that and
Yes.
went,
Yeah.
wow.
Yeah.
That's all you got?
I renovate this office once a year. Once a year I renovate.
That and my disability for the United States military. I was like, I'm sorry I got screwed up over in Iraq. I didn't mean to.
Right.
I didn't want to breathe in, we were burning human feces every day, stirring it like freaking soup. And we had to breathe it in. I didn't want to be a private and burn the poop.
Yeah.
I didn't want Saddam to burn the oil field and breathe it in, and my lungs are screwed up now. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm not doing it. I don't defend myself anymore. I know who I am, and I know the people that look at me, and they know who I am too as well. The other people, it's a small percentage.
Most genuine person in leadership that I've ever met, sir.
I love y'all.
Absolutely.
Appreciate y'all. Did we go over our time?
No.
No,
We're
we're
just
good.
about to close it out. Sheriff,
Awesome.
we always appreciate your time. Thank you, sir, for what you do.
Hey, get out and vote, everybody, too, as well. And put me back in office for 4 years. I appreciate y'all's support as always. Thank you.
Absolutely. Yes, sir. Troy, what do you got for comments? How do you want to hit comments?
I'll find my way through the finite findings of the fans following all us fine fellows.
Fantastic. As you do that, I'll remind people that Bateswood and Floyd is not your average local insurance agency. They provide peace of mind and insurance to protect your biggest investments. Their approach to insurance and risk longevity in our community and the way they treat their clients sets them apart from the rest. Christy Lawrenson is St. Augustine's premier agent, and she offers complimentary policy reviews and has a deep understanding of insurance and what is needed in St. Augustine to be properly insured. Her attention to detail and organizational skills have found policy errors and cost savings where others have not. Give them a call. They're a great resource for you in the insurance world, 904-794-5455. And then our friends at B&S Signs. They are great people. They will put up billboards that nobody else will approve in the entire United States. But they will do that for you. They are great folks over there. Family-owned business, third-generation family-owned business. Great people over there. Stop by bnssigns.com and see what they can offer you. They can offer you everything as far as signage. What do you got, Troy?
All right. Wawa was at 324, Costco at 315. Brian Griffin and Snoopy seem to be the winner of the dogs cartoons.
Okay.
You got called out on calling Will Ferrell a teenager, and there's a billboard out there, something about you eating butts. So
I don't know what you're talking about.
So just so you know,
Have you seen it yet?
a lot of love for Tony
16.
Coleman. He
So-
is a school board member, and he's running again. A lot of love for Tony out there. I think he's played a part in everybody in this room's life. So
Yeah, definitely. All right. Well, look, that's an adult thing.
Yeah.
That's an adult thing, okay? That is an adult thing.
That's what we're going with.
Whew.
Stardom
All right.
stat, are you
Stardom
ready?
stat.
I'll make
yeah.
it super quick.
I got to have some buffer in between eating that and eating pizza.
Exactly.
Many blessings there.
Exactly. Well, it's not going to get any better over here.
Oh, fiber.
Because I knew the sheriff was in, I had...
You just saw the billboard.
Oh, you just saw it? All right. 1969. Today's the day. And the sheriff's leaving on my Stardom stat.
The sheriff
Charles-
has left the building.
That's the way to get the sheriff out of
I
here.
had the Stardom stat just for him. So today's the day Charles Manson's he sent his group out to kill 5 people, including Sharon Tate.
Right.
Manson got the death penalty in 1971, but it was overturned by the Supreme Court, and he just died within 6 or 7 years ago.
What? Right, yeah.
So he lived to be a very, very old man in jail, but today's the day that those murders took place.
All right.
So.
Well, there you go. If you want to murder some pizza, St. August Pizza is the place
Yeah,
to
so good.
go. Check them out today. Grab some great slices for yourself. Plugs, Troy.
Plugs. It's going to be a little bit rainy this weekend. Just drive nice and just get through there. Be safe.
Okay, plugs, Davey.
Hey, 3 o'clock, we have the Bailey Group Back to School Bash with Inc. investing in kids and stuffing the bus.
All right. And I'll tell you to go to theflooridamangames.com. We'll see you soon.
Bye-bye.